Hello, and welcome to the Weekly Scroll Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And my werewolf sleeve is really itchy.
And today we're actually going to go over Handbaskets from Max Lander. We talked about talking about this yesterday, or in the previous episode for those that weren't here with us yesterday. But we had Max on the show. And had a really fun discussion that lasted longer than we expected. And we just said, fuck it, let's keep talking and we'll review this next time. So we are gonna do that. So I think 2 episodes prior to that, we had reviewed the other side of this book. This was the Low Res Futures Kickstarter put out by the wonderful people over at the RTFM podcast, Aaron motherfucking King and Max Lander. It is a flip book, half and half. One is one is the other. So Aaron was on for an interview, and we did the review of Intermere Brightly 3 episodes ago, and then
I think 2. I think you're right with 2, probably.
Well, we did short. I think we did Short Sword in between. Yeah.
Oh, we did. You're right.
Yeah. Fun game. Short Sword's cool. I don't know if you saw, the creator for Short Sword commented on that on YouTube and said that a new edition of Brave Zenith is going to be coming out. Very excited for that. That's on the list. Yeah.
Nice.
That'll be fun. So today, Handbaskets. We're going over Handbaskets. Yesterday when we had this up, I had actually brought up the itch page for Handbaskets, and I'm going to be doing that now while I fill dead air and type. So just that you're not just sitting here. And so Handbaskets. Handbaskets is a digitally enhanced cyberwitch demon summoning battle royale game from Max Lander. Players try to maximize their reputation, take out the competition, and stay alive. But death isn't the end. Those who fall are re-sleeved into strange and entertaining new bodies to continue the entertainment. I think I just read what's going to be in the book, so we'll just repeat up on that. But what else? Yeah. What else do we got? Is there anything else going on? Are we doing anything?
I think that might be it. It's weird. I feel like we both kind of kick back to this part of our brain where it's like, remember we used to open the show with 30 minutes of Kickstarters?
Yeah.
You know, and as somebody who still actively looks at Kickstarter, even though I'm trying to save money right now, like there's not even that many projects like there were in 2021 because it was that like COVID time period. But
thank God, my wallet is very appreciative of people's lack of creativity.
Yeah, I think the first year that we did this, I checked it as well. I was working as a director for that series of gyms, and I spent like $2,000 on Kickstarters that year.
Oh my God, bro! Then how much do you think I spent?
Yeah, way more than that.
Oh my God!
No, so I don't think there's anything running right now by anyone that we are fans of to talk about.
Oh no, that's not true. I should bring up the page. Actually, let's do it.
Black Rainbow Society has 1 day left.
Okay. Also, the Forbidden Psalms Endless Horrors from Between the Stars Kickstarter is out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That so let's plan to actually dig through that page a little bit more next week. But for those listening now, it's funded already. I think day 1 it hit almost $20,000.
Shocker.
But they deserve much more of your money. Psycho Dungeon from Kayla Dice. I did a whole interview with her. Mm-hmm. The new Double Adventure for OSE from the Merry Mushman is out.
Oh yeah. I'm an idiot. Yeah. I was like, there's nothing. It's like, oh no, there's actually like 5 things.
Yeah.
So.
Happy 99 is going on. Expendable Employees from Alexa Vela. There's a cool one called Killing Chimera that neat. Check it out on Kickstarter. We're not going to dig too deep into it, but I'm looking at all the projects. But I wanted to see. God damn it, bro! How many Kickstarters do you think I've backed?
Oh, I don't know. More than me.
Yeah.
How many? Give me
608.
Holy shit! I'm like, man, I backed a bunch. I backed like 120.
Listen, half the reason we do this podcast, right, is so that I actually read all of these and we can promote people's fun, cool, interesting shit. I love fun, neat little indie games, and I backed a shitload of them, obviously. Anyway, so we'll talk about 1 or 2 of these a little bit more next time. But definitely check out the new Forbidden Psalms. It looks amazing. Just I think it was maybe not Cat Chats 3. We did like the cover reveal for it.
Oh, I believe so.
Yeah. But just the name, Endless Horrors from Between the Stars, tells you
That's a great one.
And the cover fucks like so hard. It's so good. Oh, Revolt is another good looking project out right now. A little box set with a little froggy guy on it and stuff. It's a cool one.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It reminds me a lot of Beetle Knight. You should check it out.
High praise.
Anyway, we'll go over some of that stuff a little bit more next time. We're not doing that. We're gonna have a nice little short episode. Bro, did you know our short episode was literally like 45 minutes? It was crazy. It was a nice little breezy.
Hey, listen, it's offsetting. We're like karmically offsetting the 3-hour episodes we did at the beginning of the year or beginning of the show. You know?
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah. When I look back and look at like the 2.5 to 3 hour episodes every single week, I can't believe we did that shit for like a while. Yeah.
It's funny because actually I feel like a lot of weeks we still do that much of episodes, but usually it's split over several. Like 2 to 3 episodes, we end up hitting the same time mark, but it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, but I mean, we were literally doing 45 minutes of Kickstarter every fucking episode.
Yeah, we're dumb as fuck.
and reading like every word. Like we've definitely narrowed this in. Like I feel bad for people that start our podcast before the first like 10 episodes. That's why I'm gonna go back and revisit some of the really good ones. Like I almost want to go over Merkborg's like bare bones edition just so we could do Merkborg again, and I definitely think we should do the new Troika version. So we can do Troika again.
Oh, I'd love to talk about the new Troika version because I have opinions about it.
Yeah, I think yes. Let's keep our opinions to it. It's interesting. But also Troika 2E at some point is going to come out. So anyone that follows that Patreon stuff, you get little tidbits of that. And anything, Melsonia is one of those people where anything, I don't care what they make. If they put shit in a box, I'll buy it because it's Melsonia. Give me that little pig logo, and I'm down. But they'll find a way to make it interesting, you know. Anyway, so Handbaskets. Let's hop into this. This is the Sideways book, which is only driving me a little bit crazy because there's going to be a border at the top and bottom of our screen. But it is like A5 or American A5, but sideways, exactly the same size as CyberMetal, which is inspired by. First of all, how about that cover?
Great. Visually, I really love this one. It's very it's funny because going through a mirror or in a mirror brightly, it's much more like bright and almost neon-esque, not quite neon colors, but you know what I mean. And this one has that much more like CyberMetal fire and black and red and some purple. Love the colors on this. Yeah, it slaps. And the cover, like with the black and the red, is great. The people jumping over the fire and stuff, it really speaks what the game is once you know what the game is about, because that looks like competitive, but there's fire, but then there's like those like very occult esoteric symbols, and then the as seen on TV stamp. It's just it says what the game is in a really good way, while also being incredibly understandable. But Handbaskets competition rulebook too, you're just like, what is this? It's really good. Cover slaps. I like it. And you know me. I love the black darkness of this half of the book too. So yeah. I also love Max's name on the front of this because it's like Max Velzebub Landerificus or something like that.
Yep. Like the devil name. Yeah. I will say one little thing about this that I noticed. Going to the next page, this is the CC BY license, and it's based on with Adam Vass and like inspired by CyberMetal and Kismet from Caesar Capital, I believe is what we decided the name was pronounced as. I looked up Kismet. I found their page. I got to check it out. I might just buy the PDF on Drive-Through because you can't just get the PDF on itch. You can get the PDF with the POD code, but I think, and maybe I'm wrong, I think what Caesar does, or Cesar, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, a lot of times they do stuff from the what's that one website, the Board Game Factory or like whatever. I don't remember what it is, but it's POD. But their shipping is so insanely expensive. It's really difficult to want to get a copy of.
Are they not American based? Are they like a European based company? Is that why the shipping?
They're somewhere not American, but you'll get a $10 zine and pay $25 for shipping, and that's just not something I'm gonna do.
Oh my god!
I'll just stack the POD codes by 4 at a time and get a bunch of stuff from them. But anyway, so Cesar Capital, I hope I'm saying that right. Also a fucking amazing game designer. You should check out everything that they do. They do like really, really fun, interesting, cool games like the Push SRD. Remember when we reviewed? Yeah. Yes. From Adam. Yeah. So a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of really great frameworks and interesting little things to do with games that are and games on their own that are really, really, really good as well.
I did not realize that they made the Push SRD. That's really interesting.
Yeah. They do a lot of really good stuff. And Kismet is also kind of more of like a framework or things that you could do a little different things with too. So really cool, really interesting. So the two very good things based a book on CyberMetal 2012 and Kismet. So Handbaskets. So this thing, even though it is only 30 something pages, it is completely bookmarked. I know. And it has a hyperlink table of contents.
It's a 10, you know.
It's 34 pages. And you have no excuse. I guess if you have a 300-page book, A, that's your first mistake. Yeah. But B, if something this small can use them, something bigger can. So lots of stuff here. Omens, Fallout, Specialty, etc., etc. We'll go through. The background in this is a lot of torn black paper and flames. I really like the brightness of a lot of the colors. So Handbaskets by Max Liner is in a very, very bright red. I will say one thing I noticed specifically, like the first time you noticed it on the previous page, the purple in the PDF pops like crazy. Mm-hmm. But the purple in the book is difficult to read. It does not have that same level of brightness to it. So there's some things that are written all in purple on black that it makes it a little bit difficult to read. It really digs in. So, I mean, that's just a print thing. I mean, it's not illegible at all by any stretch, but it is much less bright in the printed version. Just something I noticed. So, Handbaskets. Is everything I said right at the beginning about the digitally enhanced cyberwitch thing and the resleeving? That it says that right here, so I'm not going to repeat that.
Good job.
Yeah. Yep. It was made for 36 players, one of whom will be the GM. It's a series of puzzles and mini games that pit players against each other and everyone else to see who can outwit and outlast. The game contains no solutions for the puzzles and assumes the GM is willing to roll with the unknown and reward player creativity. It is set in a nameless future city that contains magic, demons, and a world that blends digital and the physical. This is such an interesting game. We talked about it a little bit. The interesting thing is we had Max on to talk about this, and we talked about it like 2% of our conversation yesterday. But this is such an interesting
high-level theory discussion the rest of the time.
Yeah, and how game design is not art. Let's get this out of the way. But it's really interesting because this is such a weird mix, and I wish more games did mixes like this because the rule set is very clearly deeply OSR. You know what I mean? Or the blanket term we call every like standard Dungeons and Dragons game that's not Dungeons and Dragons, the OSR. The OSR is dead, by the way. Please let it die.
You just brought it up.
I know, but it's a marketing term at this point. It's just a regular fucking dungeon game, aka OSR. But it's very OSR mechanically, or trad or whatever the fuck we're calling shit now. But the games are incredibly story gamey.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an interesting mix of the two together, especially when you run across something that's like there are no solutions. The GM just creatively figures it out with the players. I'm like, that's you know.
I love that. Yeah. Go for it, y'all. How are you gonna solve this puzzle? Okay.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. It's really cool. The barrier between hell and earth has been shattered. Everything is hot and bloody and sticky. Witchcraft is real, and you can have lunch with a demon any day of the week. Technology advanced to allow sleeving and resleeving of human consciousness into any body, vessel, or vehicle with the right hardware. It's a far from perfect technology, and there are no guarantees on what you're waking up in. Overlaid upon the broken and battered reality of the city is an ever-present digital world. At times it is hard to distinguish between the two. Handbaskets. With death having lost all meaning thanks to the technological development of sleeves, the number one entertainment of the times is a series of extreme blood sports referred to as the Handbaskets. I always meant to ask, and we didn't get a chance to, what the Handbaskets references.
Oh yeah, I just accepted it as it is. It just is, you know?
Yeah, it is. Referred to as the Handbaskets, intended to appease the gods, the devilish ones, through bloody sacrifice and an ever-increasing body count. The player or players that accumulate the most rep over the course of the game are granted the prestigious title Lord of Hell. But the three is an E.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a black letter 3 where it's like the bottom half goes below in a weird way that I hate. A proverbial skeleton key to the city's back rooms and upper echelons, and in some cases, a literal position. So that's the world. That's the world you're living in. What I love about that is it feels so viable that if we suddenly got to a point where we could just like pump our consciousness into bodies and be able to just like, one of the first things people would do is just start killing each other.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. This game should be real. So I also think like this is inspired by CyberMetal and can be slid into CyberMetal as like a little collection of mini games. And I could totally see this as like a good extended offshoot adventure, because that's the frame in which I like was thinking about this. Like, oh yeah, my cyberpunk party is like, yeah, they know about this game show that goes on their local TV network, and this is the game show. They get on the game show, you know.
Yeah, it's very, you can tell, and Max said that they were watching a lot of Alice in Borderland when they were writing this. Oh, dude, it fucks. It's so good. It's so worth it. I really enjoyed it a lot. Like, I want to read the manga, and I think they came out with a season 2 that I haven't watched because I know that the manga has a season 2.
I think they did. I think there's 2 seasons now. Yeah.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. I think it came out, or at least it came to Netflix and I watched it around the time Squid Games was like the big fucking thing, because it's like kind of similar in a very but not real way, like not really. In my personal opinion, very much worth watching. I really like that. Like, it definitely hits a fun like battle royale thing. There's a whole little genre of like death game animes and mangas too that are really enjoyable, like Darwin's Game and stuff like that. So one thing that you just said, it says the Handbaskets were originally designed to be played with CyberMetal 2012. So if you're playing CyberMetal 2012, you can skip like the majority of the book's rules and just use the Handbaskets, which are a series of games. But all the stuff leading up to the Handbaskets is a rule set that you can use. As a substitute for CyberMetal, or to make this your own thing. So getting into that, it says, what's it say here? If, however, you do not have CyberMetal 2012 or want something a little lighter, below are the rules. So the first 2 are your Omen. The Omen is the core rule of the game. And this is a fun designed page here. I like the graphic design all throughout. There's a bunch of different colors, like a bunch of different, it's lots of purples on like a white paper background, reds, all sorts of stuff. The graphic design through this is very much like black letter mixed with digital and fire and torn paper. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the little purple like wave
swirly
kind of thing. Yeah, swirlies. They're just kind of randomly placed in. I love them.
Yeah. It works. It feels, this is what I'm talking about when we talk about the blank space on pages, right? Like, it's not bad to have blank space on pages. Another perfect example is himbos from Max. The way that they place the words on the page, there could be 10 words on the page and it feels good, right? Yeah. But this, instead of a giant empty, not giant, it would be fine, I think, without that swirly, but it fills a good space. You don't need art. Just do a little bit of design, and like, you could literally scribble a shape. I don't remember what book or PDF I was reading through the other day, but they had like a lot of empty space towards the bottom, and they just put this one random little like kind of like icon design halfway in that space, and it was, even though this tiny little thing, it made it feel like it was full in an interesting way without having to pay an artist. You know what I mean? You don't have to fill your game with art, but you also shouldn't fill your game with like space that is so empty it feels like something should be there and something is missing. You know what I mean? Like there's a vast difference. Like you're allowed to graphically design your things to make it actually approachable and readable. If I want a textbook, I'll pay $1,000 for a fucking textbook I'll use for 3 months, you know? Omen. Every character has an Omen score, and I love how this works. So it fluctuates between 0 and 100 throughout the course of play. To determine the character's starting Omen, you roll a D100, and that's your starting Omen. So if you roll 69, your Omen score is a 69. And then every time you try to do something that requires you to roll, which is the whole classic, like, you know, if shit's on, you know, if it's up in the air, roll. That is your target number, right? And so roll me D100. Roll me a D100. Let's do this. Or 2D10, however you want to do it. However you want to do it.
Well, it's always 2D10. I rolled a 12.
A 12. So your starting Omen score is 12. Yeah. The odds of you succeeding on your first roll are low. But okay, roll me. So say you gonna murder someone. Roll me a murder someone roll, which is just another D100.
44.
You fail, right? Because you went over the number, right? Because this is a roll under game. Okay. But your new Omen score is now 44. So next time you roll, you just have to go 44. I fucking love that. And Matt said that came. Mechanic. Matt said that came from Kismet, from Caesar Capical. Again, I hope I'm saying that right. That's such a good mechanic because it balances your successes and failures in such an interesting way, where you could constantly just be like success or failure, success, failure. But if you roll really high, you could get a couple successes in a row and then a couple failures in a row. Like it's such a fun, clean, no modifiers, no fucking nothing. Like, you know. It's good. It's so good. I love it.
And I think for like what this is, which is kind of like I mean, you could definitely sit down and play this as your game of the session, but as like a mini game where your character's like very fluid and you're re-sleeving all the time. What a great way to deal with like stats. You know, it's like, yeah, throw that shit out. This is how we're doing it.
So good. It's so good. So that's how you do an Omen. So in addition to success and failure, actions have potential damage and fallout. When you succeed and it's applicable, which means you're trying to do damage, select one of your die results as damage done to your target. When you fail and the risk is damage, this is done to you as a curse. We'll get to that. The other die is your fallout. When there's no risk of damage, players can choose either die as their fallout. That's CyberMetal. Like the damage and fallout thing is very CyberMetal. It says a note to rolling 2d10. Is it 0 or is it 100? Your choice, because the nature of damage and fallout, reading the d10s as 0s or 10s can be very strange results in the game. Try them both out. I never remember. I've looked it up 1,000 times how it actually works. Might be one of the reasons I don't use D100s, because I don't want to know which one's wrong.
Kind of depends how the person running the game or the game you're playing explains it, because both are like, like this says, like both are very valid. I run it as 1 to 100.
Not so 0 to 99.
All zeros is 100. But that's just me.
Yeah, so like if you roll, so what if you roll a 10 and a 10?
Oh, on my D10s, the 10s are zeros. So a 10 and a 10 is 100.
So how do you roll the 10?
You roll a 1 and a 0. Or a 1 and a 10. This is also confusing because all of my D10s don't have a 10, they have a 0 on them for the 10 spot.
I would legitimately just get percentile dice that have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 0, 0, and then a single die that has 0, 0. But what happens if you roll 0, 0, 0? That's 100?
Yeah, all zeros is 100.
But what if you roll a 10 and a 0? It's a 10?
That's 10, yeah.
What if you roll...
The 10 is a 0. There isn't 0 and 10 on a die. So
no,
you
I'm saying if you have
0 on the die.
If you have a percentile die where one says 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and one says...
Oh, you're now rolling percentile die? Well, 10 and a 0 is... Yeah, I add those together, so that'd be 10 for me now.
So 0, 0 on one, and then a 0 is what?
See, this 100. Is the thing. How do you read your dice, you know? Even the
exactly.
percentile.
There's a right way. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, Fallout. So fallout is an indicator of how the world changes in response to your actions. Generally, this will be zoomed in or zoomed out view of the circumstances of the world, represented by, there's a default fallout table here, but there's constant ways to change it. Curses, other fallout, all sorts of stuff. Certain parts of the game have their own. That's cool. So the default fallout table has a 1, which is shit is fucked. Describe what happens to make you lose 1 reputation or take damage. 2 to 4, the situation deteriorates. Someone else is hurt who you don't really want to be. I feel like that could be worded slightly differently. The situation deteriorates and someone that you don't want to be hurt gets hurt. Who is it and what happened? 5 to 7, tensions are rising. You see trouble coming in. Name it. 8 to 10, it's all coming up. Hunter. The situation is better than expected. Boom. Roll me a D10 real quick. You're gonna roll up.
I rolled an 8.
Boom. So it's coming up Hunter. Boom,
it's all coming up Hunter. We're doing great. I hit that threshold just barely too.
Boom. Get it. Get that threshold. Specialties. Talk to me about specialties.
Specialties. At character creation, each player selects 1 specialty: witchcraft, hack, ultra violence, or melodramatics. When a character takes damage, they will select from the associated list for their curses. Try now. So witchcraft, all things occult, unseen powers, spells, magical forces, communing with spirits. The veil is thin, and there are many entities on the other side just waiting for you to make your ask of them. Curses, a demon you owe a debt to calls it in. Energy, your choice, erupts forth from you, damaging you and everybody nearby. The next one is tear the fabric, open a rift between the worlds and pull something out. That's a good one. And the next one is curse another player, use this number to do damage to another player. Next one, Wrath of the Gods. Any roll with this number is considered a failure. In reversal, damage done on a failure applies to your target as well as yourself. And there are all the specialties on here.
Yeah. I love this specific page here because it's such an interesting mix of stuff, but it still works. Like half the page is this like gray texture, and then half the page is this black torn paper. And again, it's all very like black letter, but then like the curses one is like a black letter pixel art font, which is beautiful. So it like it all works. The only thing I'll say about this is my assumption is that this is first because there's a full spread across both pages, but having the curses before having the page that tells you what curses do, I wouldn't have minded the curses being on the previous page, but it's just the next page, so it's really not that big of a deal. If it was a longer book, like it would bother me more, but it's the very next page and it does it. But yeah.
So we also have hack, ultraviolence, and melodramatics. They are a lot what they sound like. I feel like which one should I'm going to read the blurbs for each. And I'm going to read at least one of the curses for each of them, just so everyone gets an idea. The hack, when you specialize in all things cyber, you can interpret calls, crack codes. Intercept calls, crack codes, and find back ends. Ha ha ha. The world is a constantly shifting web of signals, communications, beeps, and boops, and you can tap into them all, weaving and warping reality into your augmentation of choice. I think for we'll read hack the leaderboard. You can execute a free cheat code, which we'll come to later. Ultraviolence, when all you have is a hammer, etc., etc. Blood, guts, shit, piss, intestines, bones, marrow. You specialize in making people's inside bits into outside bits. Never settle for a break when a shatter is available. And for the curses of this one, we'll read, I think the first one. You overextend your attack. Any damage done is also done to another random person. Here's the blood rage.
It's so good. I do like the last one though too. Like someone dies random as one, and then someone dies your choice as another. Like they're all the curses are really good. I will say, okay, do a melodramatics, and then I'll say something.
All right, melodramatics. You know how to put on a show, drawing on the sold out theater in your mind. You get to the root emotion in any scene, and then overdo it. Did you have a curse that you want me to read for this one? Is that what
No, go for it. Okay. Yeah, no, go for it.
Let's do. Appease masses is a good one. You just gain rep. The first one, a contestant is using an old body of yours. You know its weakness is also a good one.
Yeah. A really good one is the last one is a really good one.
One of your deepest fears is manifested. That is a really good one.
It's a really good one. I really love these. I am curious why Witchcraft gets 6 and all the rest of them have 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter that much because they're not used in that way that it matters. Right. The thing with the curses is like you could come up with you could come up with a whole supplement of just more curses for each of these.
Yeah.
If you were going to pick your first archetype, which one are you going with?
Oh, Witchcraft.
Yeah, and that was a dumb question. Which one am I going with?
Witchcraft.
No, which one would I go with? Ultraviolence, of course. Yeah. Yeah, love these. I think they're it's such a good mix of like what this game is like Witchcraft, hacking, ultraviolence, and melodramatics. I'm like that's such a it's perfect. It's so perfect for like what the game is and what I want it to be. Damage. So
damage.
I actually damage and the curses. Chatted with Max a little bit before the stream yesterday to get a little clarification on this and it's really interesting. Again, this is, I don't know, I just love the way Max thinks about games. Max and Aaron together are just such I want to be Max and Aaron when I grow up, you know. So damage or curses, each character has 5 curse boxes on their character sheets. We'll look at the character sheet in a little bit, but there's 5 boxes on the screen there you can look at for reference if you need to know what 5 boxes look like. This represents how much damage the character takes before they die. When damage is taken, you write the damage number in an available curse box. The number has been cursed. Select one of the curse events from your character's specialty to associate with that number. When you roll that curse number, the associated event overrides the roll's fallout. So, what that means is, like, say you take damage from somebody and it's 3 damage, okay? You would, in one of your 5 boxes, you would write a 3, okay? You would then also, on Witchcraft, right, pick one of the Witchcraft curses. Just pick one of them.
Okay, I pick. Whoops, I scrolled down quite a bit. Energy of your choice erupts forth from you, damaging you and everybody around you.
So that means then that every time you roll a 3, that happens. Yeah, and I asked Max about this because apparently there's a generous way and a more mean way to look at it.
I vaguely remember this conversation, yeah.
One is that if the fallout you roll is a 3, then this happens. The more difficult way, the more fuck you way is anytime you roll a 3, no matter what on the dice, this happens.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked up. I would do a little bit of both, but I would want to see how often people are dying, and Max said very often, which is fine because you just get re-sleeved. But I do like the idea of like this is just replacing your fallout. Also because of a rule that's coming up the next page too. But the next part is damage. Your damage you mark maxes out at 10, as damage is almost always done through the roll of a d10. If extra damage is done, such as an instance of double damage, it becomes a second instance with a second curse and a second roll. If a number would be cursed, but the number in question is already cursed, the player simply blocks out an available curse box and ignores the number. That's crazy. So like if you get 3 and 3 is already in a box, you mark out a box. And then you just keep going because you're not going to get cursed again, but you're going to use up the box because it's your health. Your health is curses, right? So there's a whole page here on death, and this is part of the reason I was saying what I said earlier. So there's a couple rules here for death specifically. It says when a character receives their 5th curse, they die. That means all of your numbers, all of your 5 boxes either filled with curse numbers or X's. I'm going to skip one. When their reputation hits 0, they are irrelevant to the world and they die, just like real life. And then there's one that says when both of the numbers they roll are cursed, they die. So if you have in your 5 curse boxes, you have a 3 and a 1, if you roll 2d6 and roll a 3 and a 1, you just die.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love
good.
that.
Yeah, it's so good.
I really have been. I mean, I think since we talked about Inamir, I've really been going back through CyberMetal, and I really want to run something in CyberMetal, and I would love to like slide this in and be like, yeah, you know, there's a popular game show where it's just like, yeah, you get put into another body and you fight to the death over and over, and it's the entertainment for the masses in this, you know, demonic city of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Let's do it. We
Okay.
should put it on that list of games we have for a thing that we're gonna do one day when you read the book. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Death page. When a player dies, they aren't eliminated from the game. They are restored from their backup and drop back in. They lose their belongings, reset their reputation, and their body, and any progress they have on a clock. Because clocks too. Because not only does this game have story game bits and OSR bits and like weird cool mechanics, it has clocks. Because
I do love clocks. So
I do. I know people have opinions about clocks, and if it's that they don't like them, then they're wrong.
It's just such a convenient way to track stuff, and also like for me, there's a lot of like downtime stuff, or crossing stuff that I'm like, yeah, here's a clock. Like, how are you crossing this difficult terrain? You know, like when you guys fill the clock, and players love that shit. You know, they're like, oh, this is fun. I get to have my moment to shine.
Yeah. See, so I actually don't like clocks in the way that you just said, which is interesting because I think that's why people like. The way that I really like clocks is behind the scenes. Like I really like them as a GM way of tracking things.
Yeah.
For player tracking stuff, I feel like I don't mind when games get gamey, but like I like to keep them
that to the players. So.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, then you're fine. Then I don't hate you. So when you die, roll on each table to respawn with your new body. So do me a solid. Roll a d6 and a d20, and this will be your new body.
A d6 and a d20. Where'd my dice roller go? Ryan, did you hide my dice roller?
I did. I went through the internet and said, fuck this dice roller.
All right, d6 and d20. I got a 4 on the 6 and a 12 on the 20.
Damn, bro. You got lucky. Add 30 to your current omen.
Ooh.
Sick. And then what did you get on the other one?
It's a bog body.
It's a bog body. That's funny because wasn't there just like a Twitter thing going around about bog bodies? Did you see the bog bodies?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, dude. Do you know what bog bodies are, right?
No.
Dude, they're bodies that are like preserved in bogs because the bog will like...
I guess
like literally preserves like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it happens to mobsters, you know? Like they're thrown in the bog. That's how you get a Solomon Grundy, you know?
Yeah. So you're basically a lucky Solomon Grundy. That's you.
Nice.
That's you, the bog body. There's a lot of really good ones. So in the D6 side, it's all like famous, +1 rep, cursed. Like it's like almost modifiers to a situation. So there's like progress clock stuff. There's curse stuff. There's rep stuff. But then the D20 is all descriptors. Very large, very slimy, lacks rhythm, has fur, is a machine, lacks a mouth. Has an extra appendage. You got 2 dicks, bruh.
Nice. Just like real life.
Yeah. The record is actually, I think, like 7. It's a condition. Yeah. Want to talk to me about reputation and cheat codes?
Yeah, absolutely. Your rep. Reputation is a player's strongest resource. Its primary use is activating cheat codes, but it can be saved and hoarded for personal gain in longer games. Players start with 2 reputation and reset to 2 when they die. Gaining and losing rep for each game completed. Yeah, so this is a list of gaining and losing, and games completed, death that you're responsible for. I have a question. For death that you're responsible for, would that include if you created your own death?
Well, I guess, I mean, when you die, your reputation resets, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, that is
right?
so true. It just said, yeah. Like, yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I might still give it to him. It resets, but they still get 1 because like you caused a cool death. Depends on the death, I guess. When a player shows mercy, it decreases. When the player does something particularly flashy or over the top and does not violate the other rules, it's an increase by 1. When the player helps another player, it's a decrease. Pretty much, if you're doing anything nice for anybody else, it decreases. Or if you show cowardice.
Because fuck them.
And then players can spend 1 reputation to activate a cheat code. Cheat codes operate outside of the normal way of things. They might be unfair and they might break the game. There's no role required for activating a cheat code. They just happen. So the various cheats are creating an item, getting a clue, invert a roll. That's a good one. Scan a person, twist the knife, fudge the math, call a friend, or protect roll. There are various ones. They're all fairly useful. I don't know if there's a not useful one in there.
No, they're all good. And I mean, let's keep talking about this light game. It's literally just a series of amazing mechanics. I mean, the Omen roll is fantastic. Again, it's OSRE, story gamey. It's got clocks. It's got a reputation system that gives you basically a token system for spending effects and stuff. I mean, what more do you fucking want from a game?
Yeah, I would still say it's nice. This game has some cool mechanics, but it's still very lightweight. Like there's still not ton in this. It still feels very easy to take in.
What I'm saying is like this isn't. You know, I think Max said this before, and we've talked about this before. Like, you know how easy it is to make an OSR game? You literally just like pick any mechanic and then write like, this is how long a round is, this is how long a watch is, and then like a little bit of like some type of encumbrance, and you have one of 1,000 fucking OSR games that exist out there. And this doesn't do any of that shit. Like all of these systems, like all feel good, purposeful, like unique and interesting, and they're all like the core of a different game, but feel like they all go together in this one in a really fun, interesting way, which is really enjoyable.
Hell yeah. The offerings. The offerings of the world stat. It represents how pleased the lords of the underworld are with the progression of the game and how likely they are to get involved and help players. It starts at 0 and resets for each handbasket, each individual mini game. With any death when any death occurs in the world, add 5 to the offerings. Entreat the lords. This is very reminds me very much of like the Hunger Games. You know, they'd send them little packages if they were performing well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, and it feels like a mix of. It feels like a mix of the Hunger Games and also like the cleric ability in 5e, where like you literally like entreat the god, but you have to roll under like a fucking D10 or some shit. That's so they'll actually help you.
But fuck 5e. Entreat the lords. But yeah, there you go. Players can ask the lords of hell to assist in their actions. To do so, roll D100. If the roll is under the current offering, it will help. If the roll fails, they will most certainly exact a price that at minimum will claim the life of the character asking for help. Murders committed by the lords count towards the players who summon them's reputation. This is intentionally abstract and open, as it often functions as a player's last resort. Help is in this context does not mean do whatever the player asks. This would definitely for me be a monkey paw situation. And the GM should have the lords assist in a way that is fun and flavored to their characters.
You know what movie I thought was always like so good, but like I don't know if it's like underrated or not in like the fucking weird horror thing? Fucking Leprechaun. Where like they would wait a minute, is it Leprechaun or is it Wishmaster?
Wishmaster.
Is it? Yeah, where you like they wish for something, but they make it like true in the worst possible way. Oh my god, it's so also good.
If you haven't seen Wishmaster, amazing like B/C level horror flick, that is hilarious and incredibly underrated.
Yeah, the Leprechaun's also fucked if you haven't seen that either.
Who plays the Leprechaun?
Is it a person? I don't even remember. I watched it so long ago. Warwick Davis.
I love him, dude. He's the best. He's in Willow. He has some Star Wars parts, a ton of other stuff.
Yeah. Movie's fucked.
Yeah.
Tracking time and progress. Since each handbasket is a contest between players, we need to track player progress. This is done through clocks. Here we go. There's our clocks. Represented by clock. Each handbasket has a difficulty rating represented by clock segments. Each player divides their progress clock on the player tracker by this number. while they are competing in the handbasket. When a player rolls a successful action, they fill in one section of their clock, progressing themselves towards the goal of that game. So every player gets like we'll go over the clocks and everything a little bit later, because the character sheet has clock segments, and there's like a scorecard that exists that we'll see at some point. When a player completes their clock, they've completed the goal of that handbasket. This usually means they win or are in the group of winners, like Fall Guys. Sometimes you can have more than one. Each handbasket also has a general time tracking clock. These functions differently, such as countdowns and stuff, etc., etc. Turns happening in groups of rounds. At the end of a round, the time clock for the game increases by 1, like that. And then initiative is randomly determined each round. The progress tracker is designed to have smaller initiative trackers, and they can be shuffled and handed out. We were told by Max that they exist. It is not currently in the itch. The scorecards and stuff are not currently in the itch stuff you get, but maybe they'll be in there at some point. And then the player versus player interactions. It's a PvP game. You're gonna murder each other. That's great. Do that thing. You're supposed to sabotage.
Great PvP game.
Yeah.
Like death doesn't really matter. It does for like a score, but like you can kill your friends and like laugh about it because you're gonna come back as some fucking weirdo. Like I this is such a brilliant. I love this.
Yeah, because even if you do drop it into CyberMetal 2012, you go in, murder and get re-sleeved a bunch, and then just come out and keep going. You know what I mean? Like, there are no lasting consequences for the most part. I mean, obviously, like, you know, there could be. And here's the thing. I mean, can you imagine a world where you can just, like, die over and over again, re-sleeved into something new over and over and over again? Psychologically, how that's going to affect you, because even people that think it's fun, like, the amount of just dysmorphia you're gonna have by constantly having a new face, but also just being murdered over and over, like it still hurts, I bet. Like we already, like, even just like having too much phone time is fucking our brains and stuff. Can you imagine like death time, you know what I mean? And just like interacting with like being murdered so much, just how broken people would be, and just the inability to feel like at all, more so than now. You
can still feel things?
No, I genuinely feel nothing. It would hurt if I could feel that. So this can be done through, so it says sabotage, interrupt, hurt, kill people, all this stuff. This is done through omen rolls. What the target is the damage. It could be the use of a cheat code, all that kind of stuff. In order to avoid unnecessary complications and back and forth, players can only use one cheat code in PvP in a PvP way per turn. So you can't be cheat coding all over the place, just once per turn. However, they can be the target of cheat codes from any number of players. So players can all align in order to take out a single player. So like, you know, Survivor. And a note on consent. Basically, it says all of those things happen. People can be manipulated, backstabbed, all that stuff. Long story short, be okay with that. Have a zero session. Make sure you get good with that as far as like what people are able to do. And if something's like too extreme and someone doesn't want it to happen, it just fucking doesn't. You just move on, because we're adult human beings that actually respect other people, and being shitty is not a good character trait. Yeah,
this is a tabletop game, so don't permanently hurt your friendships because you feel like you need to for some
really also that applies to real life. Like, being a shitty troll is not a personality, it's a flaw. So tell me about the master of the games.
The master of the games. Running a game of Handbaskets is about embracing chaos. Mechanically, the game is simple but also designed to be broken. It shines when both players and GM lean into the broken nature of the in-game reality. Things don't have to make sense. There is a digital world blending with everything, demons erupting forth from hell, and witches casting spells in abundance. Excuse me. Blame anything you want on the circumstances of the world. The game is often player versus environment, and you will mostly be responsible for the environment. Demolishing a building, glitch networks, light things on fire, follow the wild story and actions the players are trying to tell, and do a little bit of record keeping through the score card, and you'll be great. Mechanically, most of the rules live within the details of the individual. Individual handbaskets. I'm getting worse at reading as we're going for some reason. Detailed in this book, or within one you design yourself. Also, yeah, handbaskets would be very easy to design yourself. It's a cool framework they give. Yeah, also fuck the rules. It also says on that's not just me saying that like I would often do. It says that on the bottom of this page, which I respect greatly.
Yes.
Yeah, moving on to NPCs and bad things.
Bad things.
Yeah. For the most part, all creatures and characters in handbaskets that aren't played by characters require only a single mechanical element, health. Generally, this will be a number that is 5 or less, as death should be easy. And this makes a single attack kill relatively common. For larger, more challenging or noteworthy opponents, this could be quite a large number. But also remember that you could always bring them back through the power of hell or the digital afterlife. Enemy health is simple, decreased by damage till they hit 0. Each handbasket has a suggested number of contestants. These can function as nameless bodies, fodder to be brutalized and sacrificed at the hands of the players. Sometimes, however, it is fun and useful to have named characters to hinder help. And Hergu, the PCs, the chart below can help you make some. Harangue, by the way, that has the word that I didn't read and I just skipped over.
The very first thing I noticed on this page is that feud is spelled wrong in Blood Feud, but that's just me.
It is? Where? Did I read Blood Feud?
It's number 3 under motivation. I'm going to let's roll up some characters. So what do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 D12s. This is a great table, by the way. I really love tables like this. 5 D12s. All right, I rolled 12, 12, 3, 11, 11. If I was rolling 12s, I would be so happy with that. 49.
So 12, 12, that's Pizza Crash is the name. What was the next one?
3.
3, Pizza Crash, they have a sharp look to them.
Yeah, I look sharp. And then 11, 11.
And their motivation is competition, and their morality is dominance.
That's right.
Pizza Crash, sharp and dominant.
Pizza Crash, sharp and dominant. Yeah. Like a pizza cutter. That's my weapon of choice. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, there's some really good ones on here. I like the trashy and metallic look. Just like fucking C3PO, it's like different colored panels and shit.
No. Dude, the like the look number 2, cliche but hot. But some of the last names are so fucking funny. Like literally the last name is just 69.
Yeah, but, or XX first name XX.
Yeah. So good. Even Gloom, the first name has like capital G, capital L, and then it's like OO, and then a capital M. Like it's so fucking funny. As opposed to
Loom, the first one, which is capital L, OO, capital M.
So good. So good. Carpe Loops. Like, so good. All right, we're getting into the handbaskets. Handbaskets are small, brutal games and puzzles that are the heart of this game. Each one has a few mechanical and narrative elements. So this is actually what the handbaskets are. Everything prior to this is optional. As in, you could just use CyberMetal 2012 rules with these handbaskets, or you could use the system given. Either works. I love the system given, though. It's a really fun, light, like unique, interesting system that uses a lot of really fun elements to put it all together. And also like kind of only has the things you need. Like there's no like inventory system and shit, because you don't need that. You're gonna die and get tucked into a new body. So there are we'll go over this page. So each handbasket has a description, a goal, a difficulty and time, rules, secrets and complications, and a custom fallout. So the description is just read aloud friendly text if you want. The goal is the goal. Like, you know what that means. The difficulty and time are both numbers representing how many segments of the clock. We talked about the clock segments earlier. Difficulty is a clock that each player will progress individually, and the time is an additional world clock. So difficulty is like, if the difficulty is 4, players get 4 segments. If the time is 8, that means like 8 rounds, or however the time goes forward, but at least 8 rounds, because every round ticks the clock, right? That's how that works. The rule, secrets, and complications are a list of optional details to help run the game. It's basically the a little bit of the stuff that gives you GM tools, like secrets. Most of this is narrative. There is no solution per se. Just roll with it, and when it's done, it's done. You know. When a secret is used, players roll with advantage. So if they figure out the secrets, you can do that. And complications are optional events that cause problems. And then the custom Fallout is a list of context-specific Fallout options that can be used in place of the defaults. So you can have the default Fallout table. You can use the custom Fallout table. Your curses can take the place of Fallout. Lots of different ways for you to get fucked. And it's basically what it comes down to. So the first, we said there's 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8. And then the example scorecard. So we're just gonna go over, I think, like 3. I think we're gonna go over the first one because there's a scorecard example. Then we each picked one, so we don't need to go over all 8 of these. By the fucking book, right? So the Scuzz Motel and Suites, right? So
great name.
Yeah, right. So the description: the Scuzz is a classic. Anyone has woken up in one of its rooms next to a new friend or 6 covered in some kind of previously unclassified substance. 4 stories, 48 rooms, shag carpet that runs halfway up the walls. That's so gross. A classic. The motel forms a U around a square pool. Its floor tiled in the shape of a whale, full of dark water, muck, and grime. A small wooden table sits poolside. On it rests a postcard. Everyone's AR kit beeps, and a new display appears in front of them. So don't forget, like, there's like an overlay over the world, like, and then you also have like a kit that the game kind of can like adapt to the overlay and shit too. AR is definitely how things are going to go, and we're going to be more bombarded by like ads all over the sky and shit. But you know, it's whatever.
I'll have the AR ad blocker,
right? Everyone's AR kit beeps and a new display appears in front of them. Your goal is to survive, quote unquote, flashes before your eyes before a clock appears at the edges of your vision, counting down for 20 minutes. So, goal is to survive. The difficulty is 4. That means each player has 4 segments. The time is 6. That means the world clock is 6 segments. And then the time event, right, means time's up. Game over. Everyone who is it dies. What does that mean? Let's look at it. So rules, secrets, and complications. This is actually one of the more dense pages of like rules, secrets, and complications of like all of them. Yeah. There's a lot to go with this one. So the first player to pick up the postcard can choose to share what's written on it. What's written on it says, "You are it. When you touch someone, they will become it. In 20 minutes, it will die." So it's basically tag. And whoever's it at the end dies. But there's ways to have multiple its. So a player who is it will be outlined in a red glow for other players. That's dope. There's 20 contestants. Any touch, accidental or other, counts. More than one person can be it, but not through touch. If 2 players touch who are both it, a digital reality distortion occurs, causing those players to swap one detail. I think they missed the L in detail. In
in the purpling. Yeah.
They swap one detail from the character sheet. Roll a d6 to determine what is swapped. I love this one. So 1 to 2 is your omen score gets swapped. 3 to 4, your reputation gets swapped. 5 to 6, your curses get swapped, including powers. That's cool. Some rooms have unlocked doors. There's a 3 in 10 chance that an unlocked room has a working lock. 3 in 10. A hacker demon has taken up residence in the last room on the top floor. They can get 1 player out of their next death with their memories and reputation intact for a fee. And you roll a d4. So 1 is a debt to a demon. Good. That's great. 2 2 is a warm sacrifice. 3 is your body claimable at your next natural death. And 4 is membership in your gang. Dude, I would just, you want to roll with us, Hacker Demon? Let's fucking go. And then the last one says the pool shed contains 1
yeah.
Water walking ball. It's a weird spot. I couldn't read it in the book either.
I can't read it on mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see in the book, actually. Keep going.
And then the fallout, your kit glitches out. Your it. That sucks. That's a way that you can become it, is just you roll a shitty fallout and you're it. Something bursts out of a room and catches you off guard. Describe what it is and how it causes you damage. Or the world overlay glitches out. Choose one. You can see each character's location for 1 round. You gain 1 reputation, or you are no longer it and someone random is. So multiple ways you can be it, one of which is Fallout. 20 players, survive to the end. The way the game works as far as the time goes, that means you need to get 4 successes on your turns before 6 time segments run out in the 4-story, 48 rooms Scuzz Motel and Suites.
Love it.
Cool. And that's it. There's no map. There's no There's no nothing. It's very broad. It's very open narrative. Just fuck around and find out is how it works. And then just to jump to the scorecard at the end, we'll look at it real quick. So it says example scorecard, the Scuzz Motel and Suites. There's offerings which are marked off. So this is like an example of one that's partially used, right? The 6 segments are there. So the 4 are already done. And then you can see the 4 characters underneath with their initiative tags on them, and they have 4 segments. So one has 3, one has 1, one has 2. Some of them have curses already. Don't forget, like, any damage you take takes up a curse block. So basically, you can take damage roughly 5 times before you're dead, but rolling those damage numbers causes different fall. It's so good. Anyway, so this is an example scorecard, and I love the bottom right says no one will leave. But yeah, so which one is your which one did you want to go with?
Now let's do Ye Old Laser Quest.
All right.
I can't remember the quest in the beginning, but what's what I'm doing now. So
yeah, I think that's what there's a Minotaur one.
Yeah, okay, cool. A handful of steps lead down into a massive underground arena. The walls are painted black and littered with layers of neon graffiti built up over decades and decades. A radiant history of disses and curses. Wall is about 12 feet tall, make a labyrinth through the open space. They appear made of black, glossy stone, stacked in a traditional-looking brick. But when the overlay cracks, you can see the temporary walls wrapped in gridded plastic, the kind they used to use for augment registration. A mass of muscle and horns stalks the corridor, shifting in forms from humanoid to quadrupedal to insectoid and backed. You can't see its source, but there's sound, a crunch, like ancient bone snapping every time one of its feet connects with the floor. From your vantage point on the stairs, you can see the endpoint marked with a large neon X, soon to disappear behind the walls as you continue your descent. The goal here is to survive the labyrinth and make it to the other end. The difficulty is 4, time is 8, and time event replication, double the amount of minotaurs in the labyrinth. That's one. Rules, secrets, and complications. There's one winner. Could just be PCs. As in there's no NPCs in this. It could just be the PCs running through the labyrinth. Physical contact with Minotaur results in double damage. The walls are inflated. The floor is lined with carcasses, many of their spirits still trapped here. The Minotaur loves fables and tall tales, and all lasers do damage in the laser quest. Fallout, a piece of wall has become deflated and has hindered your progress. Lose 1 progress step. Next one, the spirits speak to you, warning you of coming problems. What do they say? Good simple one. Just navigating the labyrinth.
The cool thing about it too is like you don't need a map because it doesn't matter. Like you're either successfully making turns or you're not. You know, I do like the time event thing because basically like the goal is to get to the other end, so it doesn't matter how long it takes. So every time you fill 8 spots, replication happens and then you do it again. So like if it takes you fucking forever and you keep running into the fallout where like it deflates and shit, you get up like 4 of these fucking minotaurs running around all over you. That sucks. That is a good one. That is a good, clean, fun one. I really enjoyed that one a lot.
That one's really light. It's like you could run it immediately.
Yeah.
I do like that the Scuzz has more to it. You know, like I feel like that'd be like a later level that they're getting to. But I like this one that it's just like you could pop in right now. It'd be a fairly easy one.
Oh, I don't want to give any Alice in Borderland stuff. No, I'll let you watch Alice in Borderland and you can figure it out for yourself. There's a fun mechanic to the different types of death games and hardness of the death games in Alice in Borderland, which is really good. Okay, the last one we're gonna go over is the web cafe, and I think, and I meant to ask Max about this too. Maybe he'll tell us. I think this is some fun pokey pokes at some people that deserve it. So the Wizard's Tower Web Cafe shut down long ago, before the web was not only everywhere, but not even in every home. Its owner, a man who goes by Geiga, refused to acknowledge the tides of progress and set out to corrupt the over-air networks, hoping to ensure the continued need for the cafe. They called upon the help of a demon who, through some lack of specificity in the wording of the request, instead bound the spirit of the cafe owner into their machines, stuck forever within the local network of the building. Contained within his domain, the cafe owner has built a fortress around himself, a digital castle complete with ramparts, turrets, and of course, a moat. The wizard resides in his tower, surrounded on all sides by defensive programs and counteract protocols. The cafe sits in a state beyond disarray, computer parts, ancient snacks, gunk everywhere. 6 clean, new, serious jack cables run out from mass of junk placed carefully just outside the front door. And there's a giant going out of business sign on the next one. I love that. So the goal is infiltrate the fortress and defeat Geiga. The difficulty is 4. That means 4 progress slots for the players. The time is 10, so 10 clock segments for the time. The time event is self-destruct. Geiga will detonate the entire network, including any host still online, causing a TPK. So 10 rounds, basically, and you've either defeated Geiga or you're dead. The rules, secret, and complications. There's only 6 contestants. It takes place completely in virtual, so not AR or anything. That's what you're jacking in. Stylized like a 90s RPG video game. My assumption is like I would Tron the fuck out of this. Or would you do like an 8-bit like one hop kind of?
I would do I was also thinking like early Doom.
Yeah.
Like going around corners and stuff. Yeah.
There's always a rogue NPC who knows the secret way in. Geiga has fashioned himself as an ancient wizard, spells, hat, and all. Dead characters will respawn in the castle dungeon. Geiga's defensive programs. There's 1 through 6. This is dope. I like this. So 1 is a pixel goblin. 2 is laser knights. 3 is sonic overwhelm. 4 is FPS slow. 5 is natural disaster, and 6 is weird catapults. No descriptions, no stat blocks, no nothing. Because you don't really need them because you roll your damage. But it's I really like that. And then the fallouts are you've triggered a defensive program that causes you damage, and you think you see a way in. If you're fast enough to get to it, what is it? And there's 5 more of these handbaskets that are really good. Another one that I thought was really interesting was the interludes. Buy the PDF, buy the book, and go check it out. Max said yesterday. So last page, real quick. Inspirations: TV and movies, The Hunger Games, Alice in Borderland, The Mole, The Matrix, Strange Days, and Dread. Dread is such an underrated movie, man. I love that fucking movie.
Wait, which one is? Sorry?
Dread.
Oh,
Dread.
dude.
It's like the newer Dread movie. It's kind of like the Raid.
I don't know why that movie didn't blow up. It's an amazing
because people are terrible. These people are terrible. And honestly, like Carl Urban is such an
Yeah.
underrated fucking act. Like, oh, I'm so glad that he got more famous with The Boys because he deserves it. But he's done so
That
many
guy
amazing
deserves
roles.
to get you know that fun fact, because of the filming in New Zealand and New Zealand not having great like worker protection, he does not get residuals for Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, yeah, all of the New Zealand actors actually don't. So
Come on, Kiwis, get on your shit. Music, Sneaker Pimps, Crystal Method, Scientific, The Prodigy, Underworld, Orbital, Julia Bondar, Delirium, The Medieval Babes, and Hybrid, games, CyberMetal 2012, Kismet, and DCC, and other stuff, Sleep No More, and Berserk, because Berserk inspires everything.
yeah, everything is inspired by Berserk a little bit.
Yeah. So that's the game. I do believe, listen, if you want to find this book in physical, go listen to the last episode, and Max will give you a website that will link you to it. And I'll check with Max and see if it's okay that I put that in the descriptions of the last episode and this episode, so that you're able to get this book in physical. There are a couple of hardbacks left, and there are some softbacks for people to purchase, and you can also find it on their itch page for $10. It's Maxwell, MAXWELLANDER.itch.io, Maxwell Lander, but like the L's are it's one L and one L, so it's two L's, not three. So yeah, reviews, because we're gonna review this. Because we reviewed the last one. Yeah. It's a zine.
That review.
It's a zine. Yeah, it's a zine. So visuals, rule set, and vibes. That's only 3 metrics, so a max of 30 points. Visuals are all the visuals, the layout, the art, everything, how it looks. The rule set is, if it's an adapted rule set, how well is it adapted? If it's a new rule set, how much do we like it? How good do we think it is? And vibes are basically like, how bad do we want to play the game? Does it got good vibes? Is it what it says it is and what it wants to be? When you look at the visuals and the rule sets, how bad do you want to play it? So visuals, thoughts?
I'm thinking, I've got thoughts.
Yeah.
I love the way this looks. I think it looks great. I love the fonts. I love the colors. It unfortunate that the purple is so much harder to read in the book, because I was going through it like on and off as we were going through in the purple. While it's fairly sparse, it is much harder to read in the physical. It looks great on digital, except that one part that has the weird fingerprint, like back graphic over the under the purple word. But yeah, I really enjoy the way this comes off visually. Yeah, what are you thinking? Tell me your thought?
And it's so I really enjoy it. Obviously, I like, black letter and black. I mean, if my soul was written, it'd be in black letter font. I also think it's really interesting how it's like could not be more polar opposite than In a Mirror Brightly.
Absolutely.
Like you literally could not get 2 more different vibes that still give you, like, visually, that still give you like a similar game. You know what I mean? Like a digital witchcraft game, But I love it. I mean, I love black paper and fire and black letter. You know what I mean? Like I really enjoy it a lot. I think it's good. I think the layout's really well done. There's, never really any sparseness. There's no giant empty spots, and if there are, it's always filled with something that adds vibe. Again, that's not expensive. You don't need to pay a bunch of money for art to have a good looking book. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, I love like the teared page effect, and then there's like some kind of real world photography, like in a lot of the pages. I think it really this one feels very CyberMetal 2012 to me, and I think that's good. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Gosh, visuals. What are you thinking?
Where the fuck are my scores? Oh, here it is. I I'm looking at what we gave Inamir Brightly. So, I mean, I pretty much feel the same way. I'm probably like an 8.
I might be almost to a 9 for this. I think there's a couple of like little issues that might bump it down to an 8 for me. So I think 8 will work.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we'll go with
I think
8
the little
for
issues
that.
that I mentioned at the front of this whole segment of visuals.
Oh, the little spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you. Rule set.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's so good. I mean, it's unbelievably. It's a great adaptation. Like, I'm really excited to read Kismet now because I haven't read it, but now I'm very interested. It fits really well within like this like pseudo hack of CyberMetal, which I'll keep bringing up because that's like the original intention. Although you could run this completely separately, and it'd be great. And you could also run this as a mini game within CyberMetal, which would also work incredibly well. Yeah, so I think I'm a 9 set for this.
Yeah, I think I am too. It's such a good, like I said, it's such a good mix of so many things because each one of these individually, like a lot of the systems in it are kind of like the core of like a different system. So it's like really putting together a bunch of like some of my favorite parts of other games, like together into one game, but also in such a way where you don't need a lot of the baggage. Like I said, like you don't need to worry about stats. You don't need to worry about encumbrance. You don't need to worry about so much of what a lot of games are because that's not how it, you're just murdering your friends. Like that's just, you don't need to fuck with that. So yeah, I really like it a lot. I think it's great. I think I can imagine a time where someone dies, gets re-sleeved, instantly dies, gets re-sleeved, instantly dies again, gets re-sleeved, and is just like pissed to sitting at the table like with their 4th, 5th re-sleeve in a row without having to do anything. And that tickles my soul in fun, enjoyable ways. Yeah, I'm probably a 9 for this too. Yeah. And vibes.
I think vibes are a 9 for me, man. I think like I can't wait to like play this or slide this in somewhere. Like I love this. I mean, not even just for CyberMetal. Like you could slide this into like a lot of different games and systems where like it could be a different dice mechanic and just be like, yeah, you guys are playing a game. Like you're on like this famous TV show that you guys all watch and you're playing the game. That's why I'm 9s.
Listen, this game is all about sliding it in, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're doing. So that'll be a 26 total for Handbaskets, which I believe that's 1 point higher than Inamir and Brightly. But if you combine the two together, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That, you know, it would basically be like across the board, the book would be visually an 8. The rule set would be like an 8.5 and the vibes would be a 9 for like 25.5 out of 30. Like this.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I love the most about this is how the incredibly different takes. We're like, let's do something inspired by CyberMetal 2012, and you get these two games. You know what I mean? And they really couldn't be more different, even though, but also at the same time, there's a very clean through line through both. Obviously, like the cyber aspect of it, the occult aspects of it, the hacking aspect, like just the digital fucky hellness. You know what I mean? Touch of sexy. You know, just a little smidge of sexy in there.
I am shocked that this isn't like way bigger than it is, like to people, because like it's so cool. It's so playable. Like if you were listening to this and you like any of the stuff that we like, this is really very top of the list. And if you can't get the physical, which I know they're limited on and they're going to run out, get the PDF. It's super worth it. Both sides, Inamir, Brightly, and Handbaskets, both are like, I mean, so amazingly well done. They should be huge, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that. It's like CyberMetal. CyberMetal should be huge. It should be massive.
It should be. It should be. Yeah. I honestly think like it's one of those things that I think it was on GameFound, which we've talked to a lot of people and kind of fuck GameFound is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I think it was at the time when Kickstarter was being more fucky than they always are.
Yes.
And it was like, we're going to switch to like Web3 blockchain shit. And so the project, if this was on Kickstarter, I think it would have blown up like way bigger. I mean, CyberMetal 2012, and and then just this in general is the Handbaskets and the low res futures book here. Like you said, it's incredible. Again, both games, they're so disparate, like they're so different from each other, but have such a solid through line. Both like visually are fantastic. Both are incredibly well thought out, light, fun games. I would love to play both. I think when we were originally talking about this, we were talking about trying to have Aaron and Max on to like we review it, then we'd also play it, but our schedules just like never really aligned. So I'm glad that we actually got to have them on to chat at least.
Yeah.
And then get to review both. This is something I wanted to go over for a very long time. Both of us have, and really excited to go through it. Like these are fantastic games from people who make fantastic stuff and have incredible thoughts about ttrpgs. We've said this over and over again. The Read the Fucking Manual podcast, RTFM. Go check them out. I love the way they think about games. I love the way they talk about games. It is it's a book club podcast. They really discuss the books in a very different ways. Like we are very much like a systems and product podcast. Yeah. And they're very much like a book club podcast, and they talk about so much more about the like themes and things like that than like a product review, you know. I really like when we like there's a couple things that we've both done, and it's fun to have done it and then hear their opposite take. Like I think they did Bloodbeam Badlands and we did as well, so it was really fun to do that episode and then listen to them. So if you like the shit that we do, you should definitely go check out the RTFM podcast. Aaron and Max, like I said, are amazing. They will be on the show again. We're talking about doing some type of roundtable or something. Yeah, check out the previous episodes where we went over Intermere Brightly and chatted with Aaron, and then yesterday's conversation with Max that ran long in a very fun way. I'll get that episode out soon. If you're listening to this one, I put the one out for it, but if you're watching it, it's not out yet. But that's it. That's where we're at. I don't know what we're gonna do next week. We'll let you know next week. And that's been Handbaskets. That's been the entire Lord of the Features book across multiple episodes. Check it out. We'll send you all the links to their itches and to RTFM and to everything. And you know where our links are.